Ahoy, friends. It's me, Dave Landau. After a long night on stage, I like to kick back with a captain's hat and a fine cigar and watch the Dennis and Andy show. These guys are huge nerds, but they're the kind that you actually want to hang out with. Enjoy them. I do.
Well, hello, everybody. It is Wednesday, and that means it's the Dennis and Andy show here at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for joining us. Guys, I was worried. I was sweating bullets. Our man, Dennis of the DNA show, he is here. But I tell you, up until about a few hours ago, I didn't know if he was going to make it on the show. He had a little procedure this morning at the doctor's where they probe around in your anus. Something about a colonoscopy. I don't know. I'm a young virile man. I don't have to get those yet. Dennis, I think are you going for the world's record? Because you're only 54 and you've had what? Did you tell me 119 of these things so far in your entire life?
No, just 19. The other 100 were all in your imagination and your dreams. That has nothing to do with me. Nope. They had found polyps when I was young, so for 13 years I had to have one each and every year. It sucks. So, guys, I will just say this because I will not get graphic, unlike Andy, who will tell you every detail. But I have not slept. I started, I've been up for damn near 36, 40 some hours and got back and I told Andy I would set my alarm. I would try and be up for the show. Haven't slept yet.
Oh, wow. I didn't.
No,
I was going to ask.
I laid there and I'm like, no, it's not bedtime. So this boy, we left the doctor and they said, hey, very light food, don't no burgers, no pizza.
You threw that right out the window.
Went to Freddy's. He said, you got a clean bill of health. So I was like, burgers and cheese curds for lunch. Yeah, I'll get prepped for the Dennis and Andy show because Andy couldn't find anybody to replace me. That started with D.
That's true. The funny thing is, after 19 of those things, I talked to your doctor and he told me after they put you out, he doesn't even use that little camera. He just puts on the headset and he goes spelunking, like cave diving, because after 19 of them, it's just like dive right in. I mean, it's so easy to get up in there now, he said. So
yeah, I hear you guys. It wasn't fun, but I set my record. You know how they put you to sleep?
Yeah.
You count backwards from 100. My record was getting back to 93. So 7 seconds. So today, 23 seconds.
What?
I more than tripled it. They put it, and I was like, yeah, they're talking to me, and I'm counting. And she goes, are you feeling the meds kick in yet? And I'm like, nope. And the doctor comes over, and he's already behind. And he's like, are we ready to start? And she goes, no, he's still awake. I'm like, yep, wide awake here. I kept going and going.
Oh, my God.
23 seconds. So I tripled my best time ever. So I guess I woke up. So all is well.
That's true. Let's welcome JP Roca. Hello. Joe Bernardo. Hello. He says 49ers all the way. He's talking about the Super Bowl. Joe, the fix is in. It's a Taylor Swift Super Bowl. I'm sorry to say KC's going to take this game.
Yeah,
I
I
at least you
agree
made
with
it
him
to the
there.
big one.
Yep. Sorry, Joe.
Sorry, Joe. Even Dennis agrees with me. Randy Howell, Dan Genovese, hello, hello. JP Roca, oh, Paul Taylor. Just scrolling down real quick. Dude, you need Joe tells me I need one when I'm 50. I'm kidding. I've had one, of course, when I turned 50. Just one. I'm 18 behind Dennis, but I now have a new goal. Before I get my next one, I want to catch up to Dennis so we can both say we've had 19.
But he's going to do it all in one day. So, hey,
Right.
good luck.
I'm going to power through. I'm going to have a colonoscopy every hour for 19 hours. So I'll power through. Marcus is in the house. There you go, guys. All right. Well, we do have a couple guests today, and I did prepare. I was like, look, if Dennis isn't going to be here because he's conked out, or who knows, maybe they found something. They're like, oh my God, we just got to put him to sleep because they found something that bad. One, that would
Euthanize
suck
me.
because he has not finished writing Core Draft Volume 2 yet. So that would really suck if his wife told me they put him down like a horse. Dennis is a big guy though. They could have made a lot of glue. But I did find somebody to co-host with me, and just because Dennis is here does not mean I tell that fabulous person no thank you. Oh no, there's tons of room on the DNA show for more guests. So let's see. We will bring them in with I'm looking for a specific thing on my I've got so many videos here. Where the hell is it? I love wasting time like this. Oh, here it is. It's Abra's 2 cents. Hello.
Hello. Tag me in, coach. I'm ready to go.
See, it's the A&A show. A&A. It still sounds good, Dennis.
I see my replacement. I appreciate that. It took me wrong. Look, he might not wake up from it. Look I've got a new replacement. So welcome. I'm glad to meet my replacement.
Not a replacement. I'm just here as a backup when you need me. So
that's right. Like a backup QB.
Yeah.
You bring them in the game and they do better than the regular QB.
Well, not to mention you've got a fun channel of your own. I've got to see some of yours. So,
thank you.
I enjoy what you do too. So, I know we've got a bunch of wrenches I already see in there. So hopefully I was just going to say Randy, but then we do not need colonoscopy news, but Randy will find and he will pop your link, I'm sure, today for your channel too.
I haven't done a review of a colonoscopy, so at least there's that.
They wouldn't even let me film it. And that pissed me off. I'm like, oh, sure, Katie Kirk gets hers filmed, but I can't go in and film my co-host. That's a bunch of crap.
God.
Blue Boy says if they make glue from Dennis, I'll be the first to use it for a hairpiece. Well, it's true. Well, before once again, he's here so we can joke about it. But if the doctor's like, wow, it's a mess up in here, let's just put him down now. I would have shaved his head, so I would have at least had a hairpiece.
Wow. So glad I would have been so missed.
I'm kind of used to the shine though, Andy. I don't know. I would miss the
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I'm surprised your wife didn't say, hey, while he's under, can you shave that shit off his chin? Because I know she hates it so much.
Oh, dude, she finally said something like, are you ever going to shave that? It was like, nope.
Oh,
no, I've got it on there. So we'll see. We'll see. One day I may just show up in the non-mirror universe me might show back up. But I do remember from the chat, and you guys, you leave your comment down below. Should I keep it or should it go? Should it stay or should it go?
Dennis, I think it does look good, but honestly, if you want to keep something just so you don't lose it all, just shave everything except for like this little patch right under your nose. Little rectangle that goes right here.
No.
Oh, wow.
Disavow.
Wow, dude, you're in rare form today. I shouldn't have come on. I should have just
9.
No. Okay.
When I walk in the house, hi Andy, and you make me always salute you. So all right. Yeah.
But you salute me like this. I did it
I
quick.
thought you were just going to have me do like the little soul patch.
No. All right, well, let's bring on our guest. Our guest is a creator. He used to be a police officer here in town for, well, he's retired, so I'm guessing he put in 20. He'll tell me if I'm wrong, if it was more than 20 or less than 20 years. Great guy, Richard Stahnke. Welcome to the show.
Hello, guys.
Hey.
I'm happy
Welcome,
to be here.
Rich.
And it was a lot more than 20, Andy.
30.
28 and change.
Wow.
See, I was close.
Yeah.
You've seen some stuff, as they say.
I saw some shit.
Yeah.
He did. It's funny. When I
Can I
first
stand on
met
the
him,
camera?
he pulled me out of the car, pistol whipped me, threw him in the back of his patrol car. And I said, "Are you taking me downtown?" He goes, "No, I'm going to have my way with you." And I was like, "Wait a second. You're that type of cop?"
Oh, my.
Rich, you did know
That's how
what
we became friends.
yeah,
Devil
you
goes
did
down
know
to
what you were
Georgia.
getting into when you agreed to come on, right?
Oh, I know. I'm well aware.
He sat next to me at a convention before. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows. Well, Rich, one thing Dennis, you're here. I'm not going to take your role. How do we talk to guests for the first time that people watching us don't know about? Because we know all about Rich.
We do, but some of our viewers have not met Rich yet. So,
Very few
Rich,
of
one
them,
of the
probably.
things we always like to ask, and we put it in comic book terms, what's your origin story? What got you into comic books, and how did you get your superpowers? And you have an arch nemesis.
Wow. Okay. The origin story, as Dennis and Andy and I found out not too long ago, we're all essentially the same age. We were all born, like 5 weeks apart, 6 weeks apart?
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that.
Same father, different mothers. That's the weird.
Which is weird.
I mean, you can see the resemblance with Rich and I for sure.
Yes,
He just won't commit and shave it all the way,
baby.
though.
Yeah. I thought Dennis needs to shave his head so it matches.
Yeah, I know. I keep
Well,
telling him.
one of us had to get the looks.
Yeah. That was our sister.
That's
But,
right.
Yeah.
Who's
So
also bald.
Oh, no.
yeah, oddly enough, yeah. She was
Bless
in that
her
Star
heart.
Trek movie, the one in '79.
Ooh.
So yeah, I mean, I came of age in the '70s, just like you guys, and so I bought my comics off the spinner rack at the convenience store or the grocery store, things like that. There was no comic book shop in town where I grew up. But somebody asked me on another interview or show, they're like, "Well, who bought you your first comics? Who introduced you to comics?" And honestly, I don't really remember. I'm guessing it was probably my dad, because he was the kind of guy who would say, "You kids go, pick a funny book off the rack or whatever," and just as an impulse buy. But I remember my mom reading comics to me and my brother, and I remember carrying around comics before I could actually read. So I was kind of drawn to the artwork, and I think they helped me learn to read, by matching the words with the pictures,
Oh yeah.
And so I was just drawn to them from the get go, and I demonstrated some artistic talent young. So that was, way before the internet and, all the distractions of video games, even before they started in the 80s with Ataris and stuff. You had to entertain yourself. So if I had paper and I had markers or something, I was always drawing. So it was the comic form drew me in with the artwork and the flashy stories. And, in the 70s, we had the Spider-Man TV show and we had the Incredible Hulk to grow up on, so those always held my interest. So that was my origin story. Is once I got hooked on them, I was hooked, period. Just continued buying them throughout my life.
So Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends?
No, the live action one.
Oh yeah, the live action
there
one.
you go.
Yeah. Before the cartoons, because that was like 1980, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
dates you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking,
oh my god, that live action one where the actor looked like he was in his 30s.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the one in the metal foil eyes on the costume, so you could see out of the costume. But the Hulk was a huge smash hit on TV. Everybody I knew was watching that.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into comics. Was I was somebody put them in front of me, and once I saw that, I was hooked. From the get go. And God, I already forgot. What was the rest of your question? That was like an 8-part question.
Do you remember what your first comic was, by any chance?
I don't remember I don't really remember exactly what it was. Now, I've had a clear memory of carrying around, it was a Marvel Western book, and the cover was ripped off because at the time, and I held on to it for the longest time. So I know it was from 1974. So I was 4 years old at the time it was released. And I remember, and I held on to it for the longest time, and I threw it out sometime, I think, in the 90s. But I had to research and figure out what that book was. I went online and figured it out. I do like that comment. But it was like a Two Gun Kid Western. That's the earliest one I remember having.
Okay.
And I found it, and I do have a copy of it again now with the cover on it. So it was from like May or something or June 1974. So
Would that be? I'm trying to think. That could have been a Gil Kane cover. Was that a Dick Ayers?
No, it was an artist I'm unfamiliar with. Once I finally saw what the cover looked like, I was really disappointed because I was kind of hoping for one of those cool ass Gil Kane westerns with the horse nostrils flaring and everything and guns going off. But it's a real stiff looking, weird pose where the Two Gun Kid is like leaping at the reader, and it's just very blocky and stiff. Like I said, when I saw the name of who did the cover, I didn't recognize it at all. And the interior is all reprints from the 60s.
So you're interested in comics and stuff. What led you down the path of going, you know what? Comics are cool. I like to draw, but I want to be a cop. I mean, was it T.J. Hooker? Because we did grow up with T.J. Hooker.
We grew up on T.J. Hooker and Chips and Hill Street Blues, Adam 12 reruns, cop shows.
Were you a beat cop? Were you a patrolman? Were you on a bike? Were you a whip? What were you?
All of that. At one point, I mean, you do 28 years, you're going to do all that stuff. You're going to start on patrol, and you're going to, drive the car around and answer 911 calls and do traffic stops and stuff, work accidents, things like that. And the longer you're there, you get more experience. You might get to go and be a detective for a while. You might get to, ride a bike full or part-time. If you have flight experience, you might end up on the helicopter unit flying the helicopter around. But, I did a little bit of all that you just rattled off, I believe, at one time or another.
Did you really? So you rode a motorcycle at one point too?
No, I missed the motorcycle part.
Oh, okay.
No, I did miss that. I never did the motorcycle part. Here locally in our department, the motorcycle unit is about 12 guys at this point, or at least I supervised the motor unit at one time, though. So that might count.
Yeah.
I didn't ride. I rode bitch on the back of the seat.
No.
Oh my God. Just tell me it wasn't a female cop driving then, because that just makes it worse.
Oh no, it was a big beefy bear of a guy.
Were your arms able to get all the way around him?
Ew.
No, I just did this the whole way.
Oh, you Titanicked it?
Yeah. I'm king of the world.
You're in the back. He's got the siren going. You're like, we're pulling you over. Pull over. The old Eddie Murphy thing. Pull over.
I'm telling you, I was picturing the bros last night had a really good pick. It was Captain America in the graveyard. I think it was that the McFarlane one where the motorcycle's going off, he's leaping off. So I picture Rich sliding his motorcycle into him.
Did you just say McFarlane?
I did, didn't I?
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to continue without Dennis.
Oh, no.
Because it was Jim Steranko.
It was
Jim Steranko.
I know.
It's a good thing you're drugged up still.
It was
Dude,
a club.
I am still barely here, but I still remember last night because I was in the middle of drinking all the garbage while you guys were on because I watched you.
Ooh, yeah.
And it was cool. The motorcycle flying, in the air, crashing over, him leaping over towards the Hydra guys. But that's what I was picture Rich doing and then tackling him and going, "You're down, man."
Yeah, I did all that.
Yeah.
So what led you to go that route?
It's a tragic story, Andy. I always wanted to be a comic book artist. I mean, that's what I wanted to do.
Sure.
And when I got to be college age, 18, you're putting in applications for college. I had in my head that I was going to go to North Carolina State University and go to their School of Design.
Mm-hmm.
So I applied to North Carolina State. I was accepted to the university, but if you want to go to the School of Design up there, you have to do an additional interview and present a portfolio and stuff. So I had my interview, presented my portfolio. I had comic book pages in the portfolio because somebody had a show had told me, well, take a favorite scene from a movie and do it out if you don't have scripts to work from and stuff. Because, back then you couldn't just find that stuff on the internet and do it. So the guy at the show was like, draw a scene from a movie. So I drew the finale of the movie The Hitcher with Rutger Hauer.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie.
It is.
So I had pages in my portfolio. I had, other stuff I had drawn. The guy in the interview is sitting there and he's like, well, he says, you have some talent or whatever. He didn't shoot me down because of my portfolio, but I told him I wanted to be a comic book artist. And he says, I don't think you'll fit in here. And it's just like, so you have a nice day.
What?
Yeah, so he didn't shoot me down because the talent was back. He just said, I don't think you'll fit in. And looking back, he was probably right. I don't know if I would have fit in with the culture of that school.
Right.
So I walked out of that interview and just went to the registrar's office, like, how do I change my major? And signed up for criminal justice and
Dang.
said, fuck it, and went the other way.
I mean,
So
they're mirror image. I mean, they're really close.
Yeah,
to one
I know.
another, so it's not much of a switch.
He walked out of the art department. The door right next to it was criminal justice. He's like,
that looks
it's
good.
close.
Yeah, whatever.
Dang.
But I have relatives that were in law enforcement growing up. So, I was around it. My father was a reserve officer in the early 70s. So there was probably that influence on me, in addition to the TV shows like
Sure.
Adam 12 and watching stuff like that. So I was interested in both, but it never even occurred to me to go and maybe apply somewhere else and try to get into a different art program. I was just so pissed off. I just literally went to a different building and said, who I got to call to change this? And they're like, call this number. And I did. I was like, I want to change my major. Okay, see you in the fall. And
so when you saw your parents later and they're like, how was the interview? Are you going to be an artist? And you're like, nope, I'm going to be a cop. Were they like, what?
I'm going this other direction. So.
And then you switched again and became an accountant. Then you went back to being a cop. I get it.
Yeah.
For a while, I was a showgirl. I couldn't make up my mind.
That's true. I've seen your legs, so
I've got a hoofer's
Prop
leg.
XP.
College is all about experimentation, right?
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
That
a little too literal. He's like, yeah, I think I'll experiment with criminal justice and being a cop.
Yeah.
So wait, did you go? So because I have no idea the steps it takes to I thought to be a cop, you could just go and I want to go to the police academy. Did you do 4 years of school and get a bachelor's and stuff?
You can go that route, and it's still possible to get hired on with a department without a degree.
Right.
But most larger metropolitan departments are going to ask for you to have a 4-year degree. You're either going to have prior military experience, or a 4-year degree is going to be the preferred hiring status. So when I got hired in 93, I think everybody in my academy class, except for one person, had a 4-year degree. It's not required. And a lot of people, there's a girl in the class who had a music degree. She studied piccolo or something in college and ended up being a cop.
See, Paul and I were thinking along the same lines. I was saying, I watched Police Academy. I know what it takes to go in there. You join, you get beat up, you find a cute girlfriend, and that's just the way it works. That's
pretty much how it went. Yeah.
Blue Boy says Rich does B-Day parties. I'll hire him, bring the cop uniform. There you go. See, even though you're retired, you can still make a little extra cash on the side. Do you still have your blues?
No, they take all that stuff away from you.
They take the uniform too?
Yeah, because you don't want uniforms floating around.
Oh, that's true.
Let's say I
Just
leave,
go to Party City.
I drop dead. It ends up in the Goodwill or something, and then you got a guy running around in a pickup truck stopping people with a uniform.
Right.
Good point.
That's true. What was the hardest part of the police academy?
Gosh.
Rich is like, nothing. I aced it.
No, there's a lot of physical training. I went in there in pretty good shape. I lived in Wilmington before moving up here to Charlotte, and I completed what's called BLET down in Wilmington, which is 4 months or so of training at the community college. Essentially, it's like a police academy, and we were doing PT in that program. So I was in pretty good shape when I got up here. But the physical training is still tough. I mean, they ran us ragged, a lot of running, and I can't run. I get shin splints and tendonitis if I run from here to the mailbox. So doing, a lot of running every afternoon, my legs hurt, my hips hurt.
That's right.
And so the PT was the hardest part.
So in other words, if I knew that about you when you were a beat cop, I'd just be like, I can get away from Rich. I'll just run away. He can't chase me.
Yeah.
Within like 15 feet, he'll be like, oh, my shins. Oh, my God.
He would have just capped you in the ass.
Yeah, he would have just been, you would have been like Harrison Ford in the Indiana Jones, where the dude's doing all the kung fu crap. He's just like, screw this, pulls his gun out and shoots him.
He's running again.
Yep.
Headquarters, start me medic.
Take the glass off. Yeah, look at you. I mean, you are definitely, you said you're the same age of Dennis and I, but neither one of us would put our glasses on top of our head or that. That's worse.
Keith's got room to talk because, Keith's like a whole 3 years, I think, younger than all of us. So
I know. 3 years younger, 3 inches shorter.
Happy, Keith? Put him down. Are you happy?
Yes.
Did you get that? Rich said helicopter. Did he pilot or work the spotlight?
No. Other than flying in the helicopter one time. That's all. I flew on the helicopter one time. I was not part of the helicopter unit.
Nice.
That's like the sweetest gig in the department because literally you do something, most of those guys are ex-military and, that's all they want to do is fly the helicopter all damn day. So it's a great gig. You get up there, you fly around, do your thing. You're not interacting with the public. You're not putting hands on anybody. You just got to make sure that it doesn't crash into the ground or hit a tower or something.
Right.
But you didn't get to rappel down?
I did.
Hand behind you, hut.
I've done rappelling down a building. Yeah.
Oh, how high up?
6 stories, 5 stories.
Was that just in like a training thing, or was that actually?
Yeah, it was just a training.
We got a very own Spider-Man in our midst. Love it.
I was going to go with the SWAT guy, man. We got a SWAT guy in our midst.
Look at that. Paul's just ripping him out. Blue Thunder. Were you a Jaffo? Oh.
We know what that means.
I do, yeah. For those of you that don't, go watch the movie.
Yeah, not the TV show, the movie.
That's right. The movie was great. Not as great as Airwolf, but I'm just saying, Blue Thunder was great.
Shut your mouth.
What? Whoa.
Airwolf.
Whoa.
Come on.
Vincent
Hawk. You're just jealous because you couldn't be sitting. Look, Abra was closer. She was out scuba diving. He just sits in his boat. He gets to be in the calm lake playing his cello out there. The Hawk's coming over. Then he hops in the only supersonic helicopter in existence with missiles. I'm just saying, that is awesome. Airwolf is... No, hold on.
Oh, no.
I didn't say it wasn't awesome.
You missed a word. It was bad.
Shots fired.
Wow.
Paul is
right. Airwolf better than Whisper Mode. Just saying.
I can't even talk. I probably saw it once a long time ago. Don't remember it at all. So What's up, Eric Weathers? Hey. All right, Rich. Worst, most disgusting thing you ever saw on the job, and then we'll move on to comics.
Well, I mean,
when he got called to break up your house party.
Now I remember one story you told me, but I'm hoping that's the one. But
well, you might have. I'll say something, then you tell me if it's the same thing. It might not be. I mean, after a while, you get used to seeing the gross stuff. So if anybody watching this likes to watch cop shows or every movie or cop show, you always see the young, fresh cop who comes stumbling out of the house of the crime scene and he's throwing up on the front lawn and stuff.
Yes.
That shit never happens. I never saw a cop throw up.
No, they throw up inside the house.
No. I mean, I know guys who
destroy the crime scene,
burst open on them, and they didn't throw up. I've never seen that happen in 30 years. Never. The freshest, most rookie, green, fresh, first night on the job cop. Nobody ever threw up because, there's so much blood. It just doesn't happen. So I mean,
Well, the story you told me involved the train. Does that ring a bell?
oh, a train. That was pretty gross. It was well, actually, I probably
Oh
told you
my.
because it was unique. It wasn't really super gross, but it was fascinating. When I was over the motor unit, I was also over accident reconstruction. The guys who go out to fatal accidents, they do a bunch of trigonometry and math and figure out how fast the car was going, what happened, what hit. But that unit also would investigate when somebody got hit by a train.
Mm.
So I got called out one day because the unit was going out to a pedestrian, got run over by a train. I get out there, and the dude is literally like just cut in half, like right at the waistline, right across top of the pants. And it was like a magician show. It was like somebody had just sawed the dude right in half, not torn open, not thrown about, not stuff strewn everywhere. It literally was just like two halves of a dummy sitting there, just bisected him perfectly.
Mm.
So
Wow. Yeah.
it wasn't necessarily gross, but it was fascinating to see. It's like, didn't think that would happen.
This sounds like we could make this a song. Grandma got run over by an iron horse.
Yeah.
Her spike eggnog on Christmas Eve.
If that dude got cut like that, he was asleep on the tracks. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
how does that happen?
He probably was. He was probably laid across one of the tracks, and the wheels got him just
Had to.
perfectly.
Mm.
Yeah, 'cause
I know when I'm out for a walk on a leisurely summer afternoon and I get tired, I look for train tracks to lay down on because they're so comfortable.
the rails are super comfortable. It's like a My Pillow.
You didn't have a 40 in your hand first, just down one of those.
Oh,
Yeah, was there like a 40 lying by him too and stuff?
No, I mean, I don't think, and it was the middle of the day, and it was a fairly busy area, so I don't recall exactly how it happened, but if he was laying there, somebody probably would have seen him before the train hit him because it was near enough foot traffic and vehicular traffic, and it was the middle of the day.
Wow.
So I don't really know how he was.
That's
He might have been. A lot of people will walk on tracks with their headphones on, and they do get hit by trains like that because they never hear it coming. You would think they would, but they don't.
Yeah, but that's not cutting you in half. That's just smashing you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And JP Roca, I have not seen Ferrari. That was one we were talking about going to the theater to see.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. Kind of want to watch it now. Just saying.
I do want to see it. Ferrari looked really good. Adam Driver, switching gears to movie stuff. Adam Driver, when he first, what was the show he was on with? Is it Lena Dunham or no? It was an HBO show, and I know somebody in the chat will remember.
She had the show Girls.
Yeah, Girls.
Was he on that?
He was in that. That's where I
dang.
first saw him as an actor. And it's not it was one of his first things, if I remember correctly. So I wasn't blown away by this guy or anything for what, the role he was playing. But then, Star Wars, you're like, yeah, okay. He's the bad guy in Star Wars. All right, let's see. But he's just been taking on these different roles in Ferrari where they really, with the makeup and stuff, aged him up. I mean, talk about casting somebody that's not even close.
Yeah.
And he played Gucci too.
Yeah, I was just for Gucci. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he also played undercover boss Starkiller Base. That was really cool.
That was funny.
No, I don't even know what you're talking about again.
I can only lift up this show so much, Andy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, here we go.
The SNL spoof where it was supposed to be Kylo Ren when undercover boss.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was awesome. See,
was pretty funny.
she would make a great average so far, Dennis.
All I had to do was say the title, and they all laughed. And the chat got it. You have to have a complete description. Hi, I'm Matt. I'm the technician.
No, I didn't need a complete description. Just a little more descriptor is all. So, wow, I got to tell you, for her audition, she's doing great. Dennis, I don't know what you're doing next Wednesday, but your afternoon might be free. Anyhow.
Oh.
Her set looks cooler too, by the way.
Oh yeah,
What's that?
You got the Thundercats going.
Yeah. I would never do that to Dennis. We're bonded by blood. When we started this show, we did a blood oath. I slipped my palm in my hand and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, I thought this is what we were doing. He's like, hell no. So I had to get stitches for no reason, but whatever. One of us
Yeah, where
wanted
we
to
come
commit.
from, we just spit into it, then we shook hands, and now he's got hepatitis. Just saying.
He left you hanging there, Andy.
He did. He
He
always
like,
does.
don't leave me hanging.
I
Blood coming out
totally
everywhere.
Andy hanging. And just so
You
you
got the
know,
most
guys,
silliest thing.
I was watching the chat. It was unanimous. One person said to ditch this. Everybody else said to keep it. So I have to tell my wife. Majority rules.
You got to keep it.
Yeah.
Seriously, you got to. All right, let's get on to comics and stuff. So you're doing. Let's talk about the comic stuff you've done and what you're doing now. So fill us in, Rich.
Okay. So after I, got pissed off at the college interview and took a different route in life, I never stopped drawing. I drew a few comic strips that ran in like the school newspaper at NC State. They had student-run comic strips that they would publish. So I did a few of those, not a whole lot, and then probably went 2 or 3 years or more without really hardly drawing anything. And then Image exploded on the scene in 92.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it was like, wow, okay, this is new. This is exciting. It's different. I was familiar with, the creators from their Marvel work. And that helped draw me back into reading a lot more comics. I had largely put them aside, not for a long time, probably less than a year. But that helped pull me back in. And I was buying all these new Image books coming out. And that lit the, fire in me to start drawing again. So I was, doing pinups and started developing a comic of my own and drawing some pages and stuff. And when I moved up here to Charlotte to start my job, obviously they have the big show here, Heroes Con. So I was able to go to Heroes Con for the first time in several years in 94, I guess, was when I went back to it. And got some feedback on the artwork and kept tinkering with it. I was developing what I thought would be a graphic novel for a while. And then, once the internet hit and, I got a home computer in the late 90s, it opened up that whole new world. Like, oh, look at all these smaller publishers that have little websites, and you start sending out submissions and stuff. And, I was 4 years into the cop career. So I hadn't really given up on the idea of maybe going and doing something else. And so I sent out a handful of submissions. The only one that came back with any interest, I think, was what was it called? No Mercy Comics, that the guy from Poison was part of, Ricky Rocket, the drummer.
Oh wow.
You guys remember that? Am I remembering that right? They put out it was during the Bad Girl phase, and I think
there were so many back then. I really don't remember.
Yeah, I think that's what the name of the company was, and Ricky Rocket was an investor or partner in that publisher, and they wrote me back and said, hey, Ricky liked your samples. It looks good, but unfortunately, like, we're going out of business. So I hit them like a month too late to get any work out of them. And then like right after that, I read something about, I think one of the other partner or somebody passed away or committed suicide or something happened. And I was like, well, okay, that explains why they're not in business any longer.
Damn, this show just went dark again.
Yeah,
right?
And they say don't get into comics. What were they talking about?
Yes, right?
It's a cakewalk. Yeah, so it's been one depressing turn after another for me with comics. So,
being a cop was easier.
Yeah, it was a lot easier, less depressing. So I kept tinkering with it, and then you get into like the early 2000s, and there's no shortage of more websites and small independent publishers, and it's easier than ever to get a hold of somebody at that point and find places to submit stuff to. And I started following stuff on the digital webbing website. If you guys remember that, it was sort of a news site, and then there was a help wanted section on the old message boards. Oh, thank you, Randy. And I submitted and worked with a writer named Chris Kirby. Chris Kirby wrote a short story that I illustrated, and it ran in Digital Webbing Presents #9, because the website started putting out their own anthology book, and it ran for 4 or 5 years, I think.
Yeah, I remember that book.
Yeah, so I had, I guess that's my first official published work. And while I was trying to develop stuff to submit to Digital Webbing Presents, that's when I came up with the idea for the Furious Fist of the Drunken Monkey character and property. And so I published issues 1 and 2 of Drunken Monkey in 2004, 2005. Went out to San Diego Con. I illustrated some online comics for a couple of different people, web comics for a while. And one of the people I was working with for that was Christian Baranek, who he and his brothers had founded Silent Devil Press. Is that what it's called? It was Silent Devil. I can't remember what the rest of it was. Productions Press. So Silent Devil said, hey, we'll publish Drunken Monkey and we'll put it in color.
Oh, cool.
So I leapt from the first publisher that I was with. I had 2 issues out, and then put out 3 issues with Silent Devil, and then Silent Devil goes out of business too. And that, at the time, it was okay because I thought I was done with the character. There was a natural stopping point with the story that I had done with them. But then, 2 or 3 years later go by, I'm like, I'm going to relaunch it. I'm going to bring it back. So I've been self-publishing Drunken Monkey ever since then. And I put together an anthology book that was called When Drive-Ins Attack. And that was all ideas that might make good B movies or grindhouse movies. So I put out 4 issues of that. I self-published that. And then there's long stretches where I would just kind of tinker with stuff. I did some copy editing for people here and there, worked on my own stuff. I have a good friend who does lettering in comics. He's also a writer, and he's had this graphic novel miniseries I did for werewolves, Nazi werewolves fighting a British SAS unit. And another depressing story, his artist on that book,
Oh, no.
his
I
artist,
swear to God, if you tell me the artist on this book killed himself, I'm going to be like, damn it, Rich.
It's close. His original artist did 3 issues of his story, then left to go work for Dark Horse and did some Marvel work, and then he passed away.
Oh my God, he fell asleep on train tracks, got cut in half, and I was the guy that found him.
No.
And so my buddy had this story that was 3/4 done, and the artist wasn't around. So I spent some time working on his book. I finished that story for him. That still hasn't seen print. I don't know when he's going to get around to putting that out. But fast forward to like 3 years ago, when I stopped by my good friend Andy's house, and Andy mentions he needs a colorist for something, and gave me a shot at that. So that's how I started my pro career, because I was, I was about 8 months or so, I think, away from a retirement at that point. So I was trying to figure out what I was going to do after retirement. So I colored the 2 chapters of that story that Andy had run in Heavy Metal Magazine.
Yep.
And
Barracuda.
Yeah, Cuda, which Keith Champagne wrote.
Yep.
And once I retired, I obviously had more time on my hands, and I always tinkered with the comic stuff on the side. It was a back burner thing, or I did it just to amuse myself, keep a little busy here and there. But once I had that kind of job under my belt, I started drawing a lot more. I started coloring. Keith, God bless him, has been throwing me work pretty constantly over the past couple of years. I've done multiple covers for his books, and he just had the Kickstarter running December called Jump. Issue number 1 of Jump hit Kickstarter last month. I colored that entire book, and I'm going to be doing that whole series. I just started the 2nd issue today, working on the colors for that. And what we've got going on right now with Keith is he's had another book called Daybreak, !
Right.
And that hit Kickstarter Monday night. And every issue, I'm not the colorist of the Daybreak series, but every issue I've contributed something to. I did colors for a variant cover of number 1. I had a pinup in number 2. I had a pinup in number 3, and I colored like 3 or 4 different covers for issue 3. So this number 4 here is going to be wrapping up the first storyline. It's going to be a double-size issue right off the mark. And I colored at least 2 covers for this issue. One by Tom Wynn, and then there's another variant. That's my work there.
This one is?
Yeah,
Okay.
the dirty one. That's my dirty work.
Why don't you sign your stuff? Unless you did and I just don't see it.
Yeah.
Well, it's Tom Wynn's artwork, and I colored it. And,
colorists do sign stuff, you know.
What's that?
Colorists do put their signature on
Maybe
stuff.
it's signed on her nipple.
Oh, yeah. You can. I know where the signature is now. It's shaved in, if you know what I mean.
My initials are down there by Tom's signature, but it's real small.
Got it.
So I did a couple of covers here for that issue, and the book I think is at like 90% funded as of today. If they hit the first stretch goal, which is about $500-600 away,
yep.
There's going to be a backup story added to the book as well, and I illustrated the backup story. Keith wrote it, I illustrated it.
Cool.
And I hope it gets into the book. It's a pretty cool little story, and it's for a backup story. It's got some, I guess, revelations involving some of the characters in the book that'll be good for people to see.
No, that's cool. You know what? I don't know. I want to share the screen again because I'm pretty sure I did not click the share audio. So I'm going to do that, and we'll play the trailer for it at least too.
Okay.
Nice.
And check that out. Let me make sure that audio is shared. There it is. There it is. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, actually, since I'm the one sharing it, I got to put my headphones in so there's no echo.
Dope.
There we go. All right. Let's make sure this works. You guys hear it?
No.
Negative.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
I heard you the first time you said nope.
Oh, sorry.
All right, let me try it again. All right, I'll try it again. It should have. I had it clicked for share audio.
You know, we need one of those technical difficulties, the bubbles to come up.
You just shut that mouth.
Boomer.
Shut your dirty mouth, Dennis.
Oh, boomer. Whoa. All three of us can actually take offense to that, not just me, because the three gentlemen here are all about the same age, and we're not even close to being boomers.
Oh.
So that's Aaron Lepresti and Graham and Art to Bear. I like to throw those guys in the
Art's 2 generations away from that.
Yeah. All right, give me a thumbs up if you can hear it.
Great trailer.
That's a really good trailer.
Yeah. So
that's really nice.
Yeah, Daybreak.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Is pretty interesting story. And, I'm going to try and talk about it without putting too many spoilers on it or whatever. But in the very first issue, she finds out that she's basically, I guess an easy way to put it, in today's theme, she's dying, but she has to figure out why she's dying and what's going on. And she finds out she has a very intense connection with her arch nemesis, the Doc Matter guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I can go too much further into it without starting bringing in spoilers to it. But it's a good read. It's good, straightforward, fun superhero action if you're into that kind of thing, which I am. So check that out. Stephen Tosheff is the series artist, and I think he's also done all the colors for it. It's got a very unique kind of retro, the halftone, zipatone type, old printing press type color effect is on the pages. So it's got a nice look to it. So there's some great variant covers there. You're seeing some of them.
Doug Monkey did one, which, Doug is just, and obviously Patrick Olaf is really good. Netho, I don't even know if I'm probably messing it up.
Yeah,
I messed
that's a cool
everybody's
retro
name up.
cover, homage cover there for the Captain America annual.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I caught that. I was like, oh, why do I recognize that? And then it clicked. So, no,
I like that one.
definitely check it out. Of course, there's that cover. A little censored. And we've got some preview pages here. And you said the guy's doing the colors too, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe Stephen Toshef, if I'm saying that right, he's done all the interior artwork, and Keith lettered it and wrote it, of course.
Nice.
And like I said, if we get to, I think the target goal for the campaign is 6,500, which we're really close to. And if it hits 7,000, then my 8-page story gets added to it. So if you buy, your basic book, you're going to end up with at least 56 pages for 15, 20 bucks, whatever it is, which is a pretty good deal for you on Kickstarter.
Yeah, it's 56 pages, and the digital is 15, and then the actual book is 20 for 56, and then the different covers. So cover B is 25 bucks, and let's see, February 4 per copy.
Is there a catch-up tier that has everything?
Yes, yeah. If anybody thinks, oh, that does look kind of interesting, but you missed it, they've got bundle tiers where you can get all 4 issues. You can go back and buy different variant covers for the other earlier issues as well.
And now check this: if you want to get 1 through 4 all digital, 25 bucks. So if you're a young person like Mrs. Abra here, she might like digital over print. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I like
we're the boomers.
Like touch stuff. So
yeah, that's what I like.
There you go. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah. And so for the guys that like the nudie stuff, Tom Lynn did a variant cover for issues 2, 3, and 4 that were not safe for work. And since there wasn't one for issue 1, he's gone back and done an issue 1 cover that's also not safe for work, and I colored that cover as well.
Oh, cool. And then here's the one, if you like the print stuff like all of us do. I mean, come on, guys. Print is the way to go. 50 bucks for 1 through 4. Really, really nice deal there. And even in these little thumbnails, these covers do, I like how they do really pop and stick out.
And that retro vibe, too. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's a good looking project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks
jigsaw puzzle.
Woo.
I back Doug's cover. I just love the look. Guys, you already know me. If I just see a cover that I like, doesn't matter. I'm just going to go with it. So that one sold. So besides, we want Rich's stuff in there.
That's right.
If a fraction of your audience were to back this campaign, we'd be there in like a minute.
Yeah.
So you guys, reach 100,000 normal viewers. Is that right?
Viewers? No. I wish we reached 100,000. Yeah, that'd be nice. We reached 200,000. Don't put it down like that, Rich.
Yeah. Besides, Rich, you're slumming it today. Sorry.
The Emmys and Academy Awards barely get that these days.
Well, that's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is true.
You can get the jigsaw puzzle. Dennis, you're out because it's 252 pieces. That's 250 more than you know how to do. So unfortunately.
Oh, that's Spider-Man. That's issue 252. First black costume.
Oh, here you go. Not safe for work.
Covers.
There's the set.
Dang.
All 1 through 4, 80 bucks. You can get all the nudie covers and hang them on your wall like when you were a teenager. So it can make you feel younger again as well.
Put them out on the coffee table for visitors.
Exactly. Conversational piece. What if you work in a strip club? Then is it considered safe for work?
I would say
then you can hang them in your
locker. Point. That's a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
That is a great point.
Saunas and strip clubs.
What would you put up at a strip club that's not safe for work?
Church verses? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, like a nun.
The Bible.
You're putting a Bible on the bookshelf, and the strippers are like, "Whoa,
what is this?
This is a respectable joint. What the hell? Get that thing out of here!"
Smoke starts coming off.
You can get the complete set of all the covers for Daybreak issue 4 there. Let's see, the complete Daybreak for 180. I'm guessing, let's see, that's
Got a ton of stuff in it.
digital. That's a lot of stuff.
It's
Gotta have
like
3
all the
hands.
variant covers of all the issues.
Yeah. All
And
4.
there's a
not
retailer
safe
tier
for
also.
work. Oh yeah, there you go. Retailer tier. Nice. And then here you go. Original art. So you can get God, I really wish
This is dentist kind of money here.
I know. I wish I could pronounce it, or maybe I am doing it right. Netho Diaz. Netho.
Sounds right.
Diaz. You can get his cover 450, and it's just in pencil, so that's cool.
That's
Practice
Jimmy.
your inking right on it. Stefan's original color art, 500. Nice. Oh, there it is. Doug Monkey. Doug's art is hard to come by. So that's a good one to get.
That's nice.
Yeah. 750.
Keith's there helping us out. Neto.
Thank you.
Not Nate.
All right.
Neto.
Well, now we know.
Neto.
Nato.
Neto Diaz. All right. 9. Well, it's all gone. Never mind, guys. It is all gone. There was a 9.8 copy. It is gone.
No.
So,
Oh.
this is all gone too. Somebody bought Patrick's cover art. That's cool. And the Not Safe for Work number 1 is gone too. So there you go. Some of the original art's gone. Beautiful.
Look at, we got it back.
Beautiful.
And if anybody
Very
picks this
nice.
up and likes it, I mean, I'm gonna kiss Keith's ass a little bit here since I know he's watching, and he's been throwing me all this work for the past couple of years. I really like Keith's writing. Until I worked with Andy and Keith on that heavy metal story, I had not read anything by Keith, and I'm not particularly up on current comics in the comic scene. I don't buy a whole lot of current stuff. But I really like Keith's writing, and the other book that I worked with him on, Jump, that we wrapped up in December, the campaign, that's a hell of a book. And Andy, I know you're an Invincible fan, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that book reminds me a lot of Kirkman's writing on Invincible and Savage Dragon also. I know you're a fan of Savage Dragon. The whole kind of fun, straightforward, balls out, superhero action type stuff with a healthy dose of humor mixed in. So if anybody likes those books, Invincible and Savage Dragon, whenever we launch the campaign later in the summer for Jump 2, hopefully there'll be a catch up provision in that as well. Check that book out because that's a really fun book. That's I've read the script for issue 2, so I know what's coming. And it's a mind bender. Keith ran a little campaign contest in December where when readers get their copies of number 1, they can write in and try to guess how the story is going to proceed. It was called the New Pain Challenge. And they win prizes if they're close to where the story is going, because issue 1 ends on a real cliffhanger where you're kind of left like, well, where the hell is the story going to go from here? How can this book continue? And I've seen how issue 2 closes, and it's literally like, there's no logical way for this story to continue. And that's the ongoing challenge in every issue. It's a hellacious cliffhanger, and it's you get to that last page, it's like, well, holy shit, what just happened?
Now, see, if Keith would just go over to either Indiegogo or Fund My Comic, these things could still be in demand so people could buy them. That's my pitch.
They're always
go do that. So, because I know he's watching. See,
yeah,
What about
okay.
Punch?
So Keith just brought up Punch. So Punch is our secret project. So Keith's been busy getting ready for this Kickstarter campaign to kick off, and I know he's been, it's also tax season, and he was preparing my W-2 for me. So,
wow!
I reached out to Keith a little while back. I saw him mention a property in an interview that he said he would like to work on, and I said, so I reached out to him. I said, well, Keith, if you want to work on that or make a proposal or whatever, I'll draw it. And he promptly told me, well, the people who have the rights to that property weren't interested. So he said, well, why don't we make our own? We'll do our spin on it. So that's what we've done. And picked up a pretty good head of steam. Once we started spitballing ideas and stuff and pitching it back and forth, I got real excited about it. Keith says he's real excited about it. He's scripting it and he'll letter it, I assume. I'm going to be doing all the interior art. I'm drawing it. I'm going to be doing the colors. And not quite ready. I don't think we're not ready to, just throw out there what it is, but Punch is an acronym. It's an acronym, and it's going to be a teen book. And the script stuff that I've seen so far from Keith, and we mentioned earlier, he's close to our age, not Abros, but for me and Dennis and Andy. We grew up in that same sort of era and had the same influences. We probably all watched the same TV shows growing up.
He said, "Throw it out there."
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
I wasn't expecting this.
DNA show, breaking news. Look at
What is the acronym? What does it stand for?
I want to
Okay.
know what punch means with a
Unless we
small
change
P.
unless we change the acronym again, because we went through about 20 versions of the acronym. The whole story was Keith mentioned that he had worked on adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters. I think
Hamsters,
that was at Dynamite.
yeah, baby.
Yeah.
And that was a homage ripoff from the 80s of obviously the Turtle books that exploded in 84, 85.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So he mentioned that he'd like to revisit that, and I was like, well, if you want to, I'd be happy to try and draw it if you want to pitch it somewhere. And that's when he said, well, let's come up with our own. So we started spitballing acronyms and ideas of what to call the book and what it might look like. And so we are doing our own Turtle team homage type thing. And our team is going to consist of, we didn't want to do one animal, like the turtles are all one animal in the team.
Right.
The hamsters are all the same. Biker mice from Mars are all mice. So ours is a mix of animals. We have a kitten, a lemur, an otter, a chimp, because there has to be a primate of some sort in every New Pain book, a squirrel, and a German Shepherd shark hybrid.
Well,
That's
that does not spell punch. I'm just saying.
It doesn't spell punch. You've ruined the punch line, Dennis.
Oh, okay.
See what I did there?
I did. But
Hey! So punch is an acronym we finally settled on. I think Keith made the first pitch on punch, and then I think we tweaked it a little bit after that, but it's pubescent, undercover, neurodiverse, cryptid hunters. So our team is going to be, this mishmash of animals that are enhanced through experimentation. They travel the globe hunting things like Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, the Jersey Devil, Lizard Man, Mothman. So if anybody's into cryptozoology or likes to watch unexplained mysteries and crap like that, there's going to be all kinds of stuff in there, creatures from across the globe, across the United States. And they're hunting those things down and they have their motivation that I'm not even sure we've worked out exactly what that's going to be yet. This is a very spitballed project, but it's been awesome so far. And the neurodiverse part is every single one of them has some sort of, personality trait or quirk. Of course they did. And we're all going to be millionaires.
Does the otter have Down syndrome?
Oh, no.
Will you draw an otter with Down syndrome?
The otter does not have Down syndrome, but the otter does suffer from depression.
Oh.
All right.
My God, you are just uplifting today.
I know, it's the story of my life in comics.
He's the one member of the team that everybody else is talking him off the ledge every mission. The chimp's like, come on, dude, put the gun down.
I'm just like, go ahead and jump. Let's get this over with.
Gotta do it.
Lunchtime.
He tries to drown himself. It's like, you really do have Down syndrome. You're a freaking otter. You can't drown yourself, you moron. I'm neurodiverse. Don't say that.
This is why Keith got a hold of it's just so hilarious. Officer Downer. That's why they picked Rich.
No.
Yeah, there we go. You've got your new nickname. So when we see you at Heroes this weekend, we're going to call you Officer Downer.
Yeah, so
Officer
yeah,
Downer's
when there
in
was
the
somebody
house.
who was threatening suicide, they'd just call me, and I'd make the guy feel better about his own life, and say, "Oh fuck it, this guy's worse off than I am." So I'm going to come off the ledge. Yes, so they're all neurodiverse.
The guy calls Rich, and Rich is like, "What's your address?" He's like, "I don't want you to talk me down." He goes, "No, I want to come jump with you.
We'll hold hands.
I've been looking for the perfect spot. Sounds like you found it.
Yeah, I'm all Martin Riggs. Like, let's go.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Let's do this. Come on.
Now, real quick, did you get that reference, Abra?
Which one again?
The
Martin Riggs.
reference.
No.
Do you? Oh,
Danny,
you've seen
got it
Lethal
right.
Weapon, though.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Griggs and Murtaugh. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
In
There
the
you
first
go.
one, the good one.
It's been a hot minute since I've seen
Sure.
the Lethal Weapon movies.
Wow,
but-
why would you single out Abra? Just because it's an older movie. She is well versed in movies. She picked up Starkiller Base well before you did.
I did that. Yeah.
She did.
Yeah, but that wasn't from '86.
Yeah, this movie was from '86.
Just because I had to be accompanied by an adult, then doesn't mean that I couldn't see that movie when it came out. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Just saying.
What were we talking about?
Punch.
No, we're talking about Punch.
Yeah, so the neurodiverse, each team member is a different animal. Each team member has some unique ability to them. Each team member has a different quirk. You know, like we just said, the otter suffers from depression. The chimp is on the autism spectrum. There's another one that's got like severe OCD and is good with mathematics. There's a bipolar. So everybody's got their own special way of thinking.
Oh my God, you have a bipolar and it's not a polar bear? Are you freaking kidding me?
That would be amazing. Change it.
Bipolar polar bear.
Dude, his name would be Bipolar. That's his code name. Bipolar,
Actually,
get over
his
here.
name would just be Bi, and then being a polar. There you go. Just call us for some tips.
I like that though.
Keith,
what if we
nothing is
take it
down
even
yet.
further and he questions his own
Still
sexuality?
What?
What if we take it further and say he questions his own sexuality?
Oh God, no.
Bipolar can go either way. He can have
He can go
by Curious George. Nah,
I
that's
like
gay.
brown bears. I
Oh my
like grizzlies. It's all the same.
That's
He's
right.
into bears. It's all right.
He's
I
into
think the
bears.
pharmaceutical companies are calling you up right now, going,
Mhm.
"Whoa,
We're shooting for a
this is
sponsor
gonna
deal.
help sales across the board."
Yeah, we're shooting for a sponsor deal. Yeah,
Call Bear.
Pfizer's already reached out.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. Well, that's cool. Well, we'll look forward to
hopefully
seeing that.
done. That'll be done soon. It's half drawn already. I've got the first 12 issues done in the can.
You got the first 12 issues in the can?
Yeah. I work super fast.
That's what you said. I know you meant pages.
Pages. I wish I could do 12. I can't do 12 issues in a year. The first 12 pages are done. So I think Keith wants to launch that in early summer.
That's cool. What are you
Bison,
pointing at?
come on,
Yeah.
Bison.
Oh,
there's
Bison.
your-
It's too late.
Yeah.
It's drawn. It's done. These are all great ideas for the sequel.
Yes, because apparently the first team is going to die. They're all going to commit suicide.
That's
Come
the,
up with
Based on my
issue
history,
two.
yeah.
Welcome for the whole.
no.
new-
No. They're not going to commit suicide. Which one did you say had depression?
The otter.
The
No.
poster work.
The otter goes postal at the end of the first issue and kills them all, and then turns the gun on himself. So the new team in the second book can have these suggestions we're talking about.
Keith is sitting right there watching the stream. He goes, "God, notebooks out there. He is writing down these notes.
He
for
is.
us.
He's taking
We've
notes.
got a
This is
sequel."
gold, Jerry. Gold.
That's hilarious. I do want to touch on a couple. Well, there's only one Oscar story that I can think of that I want to get opinions on because I've seen varying ones on this. So I haven't seen it. I'm going to guess Rich hasn't. Got to sign off. All right, buddy, take it easy.
Vicky.
I know Dennis has. Abra, I can't remember. Have you seen Barbie or no?
Yeah, I did.
You have. So you and Dennis have. Rich, you haven't, and I know I haven't. Do you think? And it's a serious question. Do you think the director should have been nominated for Best Director?
No.
Dennis? And what about Margot Robbie for Best Actress?
I think she did pretty well. I think
Do you
she
think she got
captured.
snubbed or?
Well, I didn't see who else actually got nominated.
Right.
So I don't have a comparison.
Sure.
Let's say this was it was a fun movie. Ryan was great. I mean, it was
Great.
it was fun movie. I didn't want to go see it. They took me kicking and screaming, but in the end, it was cute. It was fun. Was it Oscar nominating worth? No, there was nothing about it. It was cute. It was fun. I would see it again with like my family, my daughter. I would go see it again.
I would say the set design deserved to be nominated in some way.
Was that one of the ones that got nominated for it?
Yes, most of the I went with we saw it with a bunch of people that love Barbies, had a whole history with them, and they said the set designs were very much like the actual toys. So that was really cool. The song.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
Now, are you talking about the song Ryan sang, or what song are you talking about? Yeah, because didn't that win at the Golden Globes?
He won, and he was surprised. His all get up and his reaction was priceless because again, it was cute, it was fun. Of all the songs out there, that would not be on my top of the list.
Right.
The irony is not lost on me.
So I guess my thing is now, obviously, I haven't seen it, but I've heard both sides of, I guess, the argument. And, the one side saying, yeah, well, why should it be nominated? The director that is, and even Margot Robbie, they were basically saying, Margot Robbie's acting performance, it was one of those types where it's not like a really deep biting role.
Right.
She really
It's essentially a Valley Girl, kind of thing.
Right. And then with the director, it's like it's pretty cut and dry. You know what I mean? Of a movie. It's not like, and I just saw this topic before, so I can't think of any of the other movies. Well, Oppenheimer, isn't he up for Best Director? Nolan for that. But I mean, you can see if he is up. I'm not even actually sure if he's up for it, but I could see him being up for that for Oppenheimer. Right.
That was a lot more involved.
That was a phenomenal.
A lot more planning.
For the Barbie movie, the people that are really complaining, like, oh, they're getting snubbed. Look how much money it made. And it's like, yeah, but how much money a movie makes has never been something that the Oscars have ever looked at.
Right.
Because if they did that, Maverick would have been up there last year.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, go back and look at the history of the winners. There are more times than not, particularly the nominees, they'll be there and they're like, oh, I've heard of that movie. And then there'll be three that you like, I don't even know what that is. Never saw it in the theaters. Never saw it come to the theaters. So, there's no argument there whatsoever.
Right.
It was a popular movie. The girls loved it. And this was a fun, my wife said, you need to watch this. Okay. And I go. She goes to World War II movies with me and some good sci-fi ones. I will go see those kind of movies if she wants me to. And it was enjoyable.
You're a good husband. You're a good husband.
That's right.
Dennis.
Well, here you go. This is a question for the panel. Dennis, already know the answer for how you and Susie, break up the movie thing, like you were saying. So, real quick, Dennis was telling me one time that they'll do this thing where it's like she'll pick a movie. He basically has no say in it, and he has to watch it. So it could be some Hallmark thing, something like that. And then the next night or next week, whatever it is, he'll pick a movie. She has to watch it. Now, I told my wife that. And Dennis and I have been married roughly the same amount of time. I think he's got a couple more years on Helen and I. But I told my wife that, and she just laughed. She's like, yeah, that's never going to happen. Because I'll be like, come on, watch this with me. And she'll like, nope. And she'll just go right up into the other room to watch something. And then I'll walk into the room and I'll see the TV and I'll be like, oh, what is this garbage? And she's like, it is not garbage. It is a nice Christmas Hallmark movie. And I'm like, I'm out. And there's none of that will ever happen in our house. Now, Abra, you're married. Is
Mhm.
that something you and your husband would do? Would he sacrifice, or do you do that?
Yeah, he does actually, because I'm more of the geek and nerd, and he likes more, the dramatic, true life kind of stuff. But he'll go and see all the comic book movies and sci-fi and everything with me, and so I'll go see more of the dramatic stuff that I might not be inclined to watch. Just so a
Mhm.
little bit of that reciprocity.
Right.
And it works out pretty well. Sometimes I'm like, but
Yeah.
I know there are times when he's watching a movie and he's just like, "What am I here for?" But we smuggle in booze to the theater,
Do
so
you really? You take a
yeah,
little
yeah.
flask, or what do you take?
We bring vodka in a huge like canister that has been in the freezer. I have one of these huge purses that I'm lugging
Oh,
in,
yeah.
but we buy the
Love it.
popcorn, so
Of course.
They're
and we
like
have like
frozen Capri Suns. You got a little straw.
yeah, right. But yeah, if the movie's really bad and he wants to kind of zone out, he's like, Here, fill it up, hit me." But
Right.
yeah, so we have a pretty good arrangement, I think. It works for us.
Awesome.
Okay. Rich, what about you?
Well, in my house, we don't do the alternating thing like I guess Dennis does in his house, but that just doesn't really work. My wife does love the Christmas Hallmark movies. She loves those
Oh,
things.
yeah.
But she doesn't ask me or expect me to sit through them, because if anybody sat through a Hallmark Christmas movie, you've seen all of them, because it's the exact same plot, just a different setting. So around my house, it's usually scroll through, Hulu, Netflix, Prime, Peacock, until you find something that both can agree to watch. Either that, or my wife just gets bored and says, "I'll be on my tablet, watch whatever the hell you want," and then I'll pick something to watch. And usually she sits there and starts watching it with me. She says she's not interested in watching, whatever the horror movie is that I'm watching, but then she'll sit there and something will happen and she'll be like, "Oh." It's like, "Well, I thought you weren't watching." So she ends up getting into them anyway, even though it's not what she prefers to watch. So that's usually how it goes. We usually end up surf and surf and surf, trying to find something to watch and kill an hour doing that. And then she
Oh,
usually
yeah.
would just give up and say, documentaries are usually a good, meeting point halfway. Try to find something in the documentary genre we can both agree might be interesting.
Sure.
Well, here's the good
Well,
news, because my wife likes the Christmas, the Hallmark movies and stuff too. And I'm like, okay, I can handle one or two. But was it last year? Because Andy's family and we exchanged little gifts. We
Aw.
got Helen. It's Hallmark bingo, and it's Christmas bingo. So it's sheets, and you as the girl. So Helen and Susie will sit down and they will watch these movies, and we get to go do manly stuff, and then they're in there doing home bingo, drinking bottles of wine. That works out better, because that gets her fix in like 80% of that holiday season, just by
Yeah.
going and having them do that. So
That's
that
smart.
works
That's
out.
pretty awesome. I like that bingo thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
oh, there's a
It
mix
is.
up on reservations and we have to share a room. Oh, I've got that one.
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
That is literally what it is. Yes. Oh, he walked under the mistletoe, or it's one of those sappy parts, and they're like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
can't believe there wasn't one of those in this movie." Well, let's watch the next one, and they just continue.
There's a
down.
misunderstanding, and they think they're going to break up, but then they make back up again because it was all just a misunderstanding.
Mhm.
Oh,
All
look,
the
he saved the
cliches.
family business. Check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does
Somebody
your
got a
wife or
puppy for
husband
Christmas.
watch the
Check.
Christmas movie Die Hard 1 and 2 with you? Great question. I'll go first.
He
is our
knows the
opening
answer to that.
Christmas movie every year. So yes, that is our very first Christmas movie every year. Next, we'll go Abra. Do you?
Well, it's kind of Die Hard. We watch whenever we want to watch it. We don't set out specifically to watch it as a Christmas movie, but I don't argue that it's not a Christmas movie. It's just one of
Right.
those things, like we have kind of our other traditional Christmas Carol and this and that we watch. So if we get around to it or it's on, we'll watch it, but we don't actively go out to watch it.
Rich?
But is there a Christmas movie you watch every year?
I
Like as a routine every
Yeah,
year? Is there a
actually,
movie in the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas? Like mine's
Well,
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
that's in there. But I'm a sucker for the Alistair Sim. I think it's like 1951 or something, Christmas Carol, and it has to be the
Hmm.
black and white version. It can't be
oh
the
my.
colorized version. It's really old. It's something about. I remember when I was a kid, and he finally, he's woken up a Christmas morning, and he's been visited by the ghost, and he has that change of heart, and when he has that revelation, it's something about how Alistair performed that scene.
Right.
He performed it with such joy. I remember just being impacted by that when I was a kid growing up, and so has a special place in my heart.
Well, I've only seen that one once or twice, but if I remember right, that one's pretty creepy with the ghosts and stuff, right?
It's a
Like
little creepy, yeah,
that's not
yeah,
really one you'd go, "Hey, 5-year-old kid, watch
yeah.
this version."
Had an interesting upbringing, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that's a really good one, but
Yeah,
that's definitely before they started kind of softening it
for
some
sure.
for,
Yeah.
younger, but that is a good one. So, what about you, Rich? Any holiday traditions, even though we're past them now, but close enough? With movies,
So,
that is. Like,
yeah,
because
I mean,
Dennis isn't lying, on Black Friday or Thanksgiving night, they're like, "It's time to watch Die Hard," and I'm just like, "Oh my god."
that sounds
Day
pretty
after
good to me.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I was this season. I actually was trying to find Die Hard streaming somewhere. I don't have it on disc or something, and I know it had been on Hulu until like it got to be Christmas, and then the sons of bitches took it off.
They do that.
Right.
Yes, they
Yeah,
That's
do.
they
right.
say, fuck you at the drive-through.
Yep.
So I did get to watch Die
Fire
Hard
cop.
though. It came on TNT or something, so I did get to watch it. And the wife sat there and watched it with me. She, at first she's like, "Oh, what is that, Die Hard?" And then the next thing you know, she's sitting there watching it with me. Like I just said a minute ago, she at first says she does not interested, but then she watches them anyway.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, my wife and my kid are both huge Elf fans, and I love the movie Elf
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Yep.
But I'm sick of seeing it. I mean, I need to take like a 2 or 3 year moratorium and then go back and watch it because I've seen it so many damn times in the past 10 years. But they can't get enough of it, so that's always on. But our new favorite Christmas movie is Four Christmases.
Oh yeah, that's a cute one.
And
Mhm.
I would have thought a lot of people would have seen it, but every time we bring it up to somebody, especially around Christmas, we were having parties here at the house. We're like, "Oh, Four Christmases," and everybody's like, "What? What's that?" I love that movie. Andy, Dennis, have you seen it?
Give me,
It's got
my
Vince
memory
Vaughn.
is what my
Vince
memory
Vaughn.
is. I know I have. Who's the main actor? And I'll tell you.
Vince Vaughn.
That's what I thought. Vince
Yeah.
Vaughn and what's her face?
Reese
Forehead.
Plays his
Witherspoon.
wife.
Yeah.
Reese Witherspoon.
That's it. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. Robert
said
Duvall plays his
forehead.
dad.
She has a big forehead. Yes, I call her
She
When you
does.
forehead.
say forehead, I'm thinking Christina Ricci.
Oh yeah. Well, she has.
Oh,
She's got a
yeah.
big forehead
Oh,
too.
Yeah.
That's not forehead. That's forehead.
That's 8 head.
Well, Christina Ricci has a normal size face like all of us do, but her features are squished down to here.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's why
That's
she has that big.
good.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah,
Well,
I
it-
forgot
Yeah.
to mention Love Actually. That's kind of a sappy one that I like watching.
Oh my god! I just
that was
for
just
the
back
first
in
time
theaters.
ever. I just watched that. They made my daughter, so she made me watch it, and they're like, "How have you never seen this?" I'm like, "What? Why would I have?" So I
Because
wound up.
it's Love Actually. It's called Love Actually. So
Yes, yeah.
that's why we didn't watch
Coming from Dennis. Now, Abra, I'm sure you've seen it. Rich, I'm going to hope you say no when I ask. The Notebook. Have
Yeah,
you guys seen The Notebook?
I
yeah.
You
have.
seen it too, Rich? Rich, you were a
Everybody's
cop.
seen
Why
it.
would you watch that?
Because I have a wife and a daughter.
Thank you.
My wife has never seen it either. So,
Who's the lead actress in that? Rachel McDonald.
Oh yeah, what is her name?
McAdams.
McAdams.
Yeah, McAdams.
Rachel
Yeah.
oh,
McAdams.
is it Rachel McAdams? Okay.
I could sit through the movie with her in it. That's okay.
I'd rather watch the original Ghost and Mrs. Muir movie with Rex Harrison than I think that's a better love story than The Notebook. That's just me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's something you need to see. It's hard, especially when it's got Garner. Man, he is just
No,
that
Garner's
guy. What?
Garner's good.
James
Yeah,
Garner.
I love James Garner.
That ending, though, when you see it, man, if that doesn't tug on your heart, you're
Yeah.
a robot looking at you.
Not Andy's heart because he doesn't have one.
That's right.
You mean when they both die, like around the
Yeah.
same time? What are you
In
talking
our
about?
theme for the show today,
Yes, Death.
Yeah. I was
Welcome.
going to say.
Well,
Let's talk about Old Yeller.
Oh God.
Spoiler. They're both they're both sitting there on a ledge at the end of the movie, and they're like, I'm done, and don't make me do it, and they just jump. So I mean, that is the end. It's another sad ending to a movie.
Oh, it's the Thelma and Louise type.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
another movie
yeah.
I've never seen all the way through. Thelma and Louise.
Oh, see, that's a
I've
good
never
movie.
seen that.
It's all right. You got to see it at least once.
Right.
It's got Harvey Keitel in it.
And he's never watched E.T.
Nope.
Really?
Not
Right.
even as a kid. You didn't see, how did you avoid that in the 80s?
Yeah, for real.
Easy. I didn't see it. Well, because one, at that time, my parents would have had to have taken me, and my parents had no interest in seeing it. So I was like, okay.
But
And
it
I
became
didn't
one of
care.
those they would show around every holiday season on.
I know. We would just skip right past it.
Oh.
So,
Well.
see, JP Roca, E.T. is garbage. See?
But it's got nothing to do with it. It's the fact that you didn't see it.
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
think
a
Gremlins-
cultural
Gremlins
phenomenon.
and Goonies and there's
I've
just-
never seen the Goonies all the way through either.
Damn.
See, I don't like the Goonies.
I've never seen Gremlins all the way through.
Damn.
right? Thank you, Amber. You are proving she is. We're gonna have the DNA show, but we're swapping out names now. She's seen all
Oh
the
no!
stuff.
It backfired on
no.
Andy. He's not.
That's right.
No, the thing is, in the 80s, when it was going to movies, I didn't really start going to movies a lot till I was a teenager and could drive. And yes, Goonies was out when I could drive. And what was the other one I just said? Oh, Gremlins. That was probably out when I could drive too. But I just think as a teenager, at least for where I grew up and stuff, my buddies and I just thought they were too kiddish, like kid movies. So we just would go see something else.
Well, there's
Gremlins
some
gets kinda
fun,
dark.
gory stuff in Gremlins. You have to go back and watch Gremlins. That would be a
Yeah.
good Christmas movie.
It is. Good
Yeah.
little blender action. You gotta love it.
In the microwave.
And it's got that uplifting
Right.
story in the Phoebe Cates' family story. It's so heartwarming.
Oh yeah, about her dad and Santa Claus.
Yeah. It fits
That's
today's
true.
show perfect.
It does. See, we
Yeah.
can't tell you, Andy, because
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be a
you can.
spoiler.
spoilers.
Now, see, I did see Back to the Futures. Thank you Of course, I saw those. Michael J. Fox.
that you're a course of. Oh,
Hi,
Aw.
honey.
Look at the little fuzzy
Aw.
dog.
now you just lightened up the whole show. Thanks,
Aw.
Rich.
You did. You brought it
Phil.
back from depressing to happy. How old is that
Yeah.
dog?
That dog is 3 years old. He's a big sweetie.
Oh, look at that
Just
baby.
3?
Yeah, he's 3.
Wow, and it was just licking its ass. Now it kissed you. So good job. Good job.
Ew.
Won't be the first time.
Here's what I thought Rich was going to say. Yeah, this is my dog.
We're putting him down.
He's 18
Yeah, you'll
years
put him
old,
down next week.
He's
and
18.
we're taking to put him down tonight. So I just
Tomorrow.
wanted you guys
Oh
wanted to
my
see him one last
god.
time.
Yeah, just
Oh,
want
look
to
at
show you
that
one last time.
baby.
This is the last time you'll see my dog.
Oh,
Yep,
I
go
love
to bed
that
tomorrow.
baby.
What's its name?
That's Oscar.
Hi, Oscar.
Nice.
Hi there, Oscar.
He's
Sorry, I get all
good.
mushy
Working.
when it comes to dogs.
Oh no, I love dogs. Do you have any pets, Abra?
Oh, I do. I have
What do you have?
a Silky. We thought was a Yorkie because that's what the breeder told us, but we got a Silky. They look very similar, but
What's a silky?
they
What's
look
a
very,
Silky?
very similar to a Yorkshire Terrier. It's a Silky Terrier, and they were bred with. They brought the Yorkies to Australia, and I think bred them with an Australian
A dingo?
something. I don't know.
No,
But-
dingoes.
She's
dingo baby.
she's very ornery. She's very smart, very territorial. 10 pounds of fury.
I was about to say,
and
so
fur. Yeah.
same size as a Yorkie then. Small.
Yeah, about that. Well, she's a little bit bigger than your average Yorkie, but
Right.
yeah, she has a lot of spunk, as they say. But yeah, she's my baby.
Yippee? Yippee?
Unfortunately, when she
Doorbell
sees,
rings.
she does what we call the meerkat when she looks out the window. So she'll stand up on her hind legs and kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
look out. She sees people walking by, and it's and then she'll start barking at them. But yeah, she has this really deep growl and bark that you would not expect from a dog her size. But yeah, she's a little pocket. Could support this dog.
That's right.
Yeah,
Look at
Yeah,
at
we
you.
had
You can pull the heartstrings.
yeah.
we had a beagle that was she was like 20 pounds. She was small. We didn't know beagles came in 2 sizes when we got her.
Huh.
And because we had a Jack Russell before that, and my wife didn't want a big dog because I was like, let's get a lab or something like that. And this is, 19 years ago. And she's like, I don't want a dog that big. And I said, well, I want something bigger than a Jack Russell. So we looked at beagles and we were like, oh, that's not bad. 40 pounds. That's good. Let's do that. So, we got Daisy when she was like 8 weeks old, small little thing.
Aw.
And she only got to be like 20 pounds. And she had the stumpiest legs. I'm not kidding. Her legs were like that long. I mean, she was the same height as our cat, like back to back. You could run a board along the cat to Daisy and it'd be perfectly even.
Dang.
And she was real cute. She had a loud bark though. And some dude, I don't know, handyman, whatever, came in the house one time and she came running up the steps and just started barking. And the dude almost jumped out of his skin because her bark was so loud. And when he turned around, he was like, oh my God, I can't believe that dog is so small for how loud it is.
We get the same thing from our little Bailey. She packs a punch with her bark.
Yeah,
I get the same thing about me. People hear me and then they turn around. They're like, "Oh my God, look how small that guy is."
I know.
It's freakish.
It's funny because when you would chase perps down the street and say stop, or I'll shoot, they'd be scared shitless and they turn around and go, I don't even see anybody. Then they'd look down and go, oh, and then they'd keep running.
I had to use my cop voice.
You were the exact opposite of Hooks from Police Academy.
Stop. Oh yeah. Yeah, then when she would yell like, quiet.
That's right.
When Rich was doing when Rich used to do patrol in the car and they were going to partner him up with a woman, and then the sergeant came down and said, guys, we can't have 2 women in the same car. So, we got to have at least one man. And Rich is like, I am a man. And he's like, well, yeah, I mean, technically you are. Stature,
Whoa. Rich identifies as a man. Leave him alone.
I know. At least that's what his doctor tells him.
For 54 years, I've been claiming to be a man.
That's right.
Look at your driver's license, whatever it says.
That's right, whatever it says.
Sign that at birth, okay? I can't control that.
That damn doctor set me up from birth. Oh my God, you guys are killing me. Hey, put those down. Oh boy, Dennis is getting loopy. All right, we are seeing Argyle tomorrow night. That is our movie for the week. Have you guys seen the trailer for that?
I've seen the trailer. It looks a little,
yeah.
But you guys have the pass. I don't know. I've seen so much stupid stuff lately. It's just kind of like meh. I don't know. But that new movie that Cavill's going to be in, I don't know if you just saw the trailer. Somebody posted it. That looks badass.
That is
the one that has the Reacher guy in it too, Alan Rickman. Yes.
Dude, what a cast. That is also another great war movie. It's Dirty Dozen, but on the sea, going after, I think it's dealing with the Enigma and stuff again for the submarines. So what a great, cool twist and concept.
It looked a lot of fun.
Great cast.
It does. It looks really good. Guy Ritchie makes great movies, so that's okay.
It's not going to be bad.
Oh, look at that. It's okay, Joe. Just have the tissues next to you on Super Bowl Sunday, buddy.
I'm
the fix is in.
Andy, I'm happy to see her together, still friends after that ugly playoff game a couple weeks ago.
Oh, you mean where the Packers cheated? Yeah, I knew they'd play dirty.
Cheated. I'm telling you, Rich, this was the quietest ride home from a convention I have ever had. He said like 12 words, and most of those words were, seriously? Seriously?
Oh, no.
Hey, when it was 27-0, I said the game's over. Dennis, like a nice friend, goes, there's still lots of time left. And I'm like, and he's right, because it was the first quarter, but I'm like, no, it's over.
Well, that's what they said about the 49ers, too. So, this past weekend.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yep, I know. It's a Taylor Swift Super Bowl, dude.
Yep.
had the news running while I was working yesterday, and literally every channel, Taylor Swift, it's Super Bowl, Taylor Swift, every channel. I'm like, it is more about Taylor Swift than actually playing a game now. It is fixed. There's something up.
Bread
Jill,
and
I'm sorry to
circus.
say
Bread
it.
and circus.
I really wish the 49ers had a chance, but they're not going to allow it.
Jesus, I'm so annoyed with them showing Taylor Swift all the time. I'm like, just bring Colin Kaepernick back, okay?
Oh,
I'd
God,
rather
yeah.
see him than Taylor Swift. That woman is pissing me off.
Damn.
She's pissing
It's
me
like
off.
they don't know. Honestly, the NFL, who's your audience? Stop showing Taylor Swift up in the box.
Yeah.
I'm not calling my kid. Well, my daughter loves watching football, so it's a bad example. But Dennis isn't calling his daughter into the room going, no, you have to watch football. It's Taylor Swift.
And that weird dance she was doing the other day. She's like, oh my God.
I know.
And they were showing her up in the box.
Yeah.
They actually asked her one time, they said, Taylor, what do you think of the Kansas City D? And she goes, I don't know anything about their D, but Kelsey's is awesome. And I'm like, Taylor, they're talking about the defense. My God. Jesus. Sad.
Guys, I'm telling you, every day this is what I deal with.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about? She wanted to go watch football because she loves getting in the end zone.
Oh,
So-
no. But
Once a month, she lets Kelsey go into the red zone, if you know what I mean. See, I got it, Abra. I'll go all day.
Somebody stop him. He's out of control.
And this is the last time she comes on the show as a co-host.
That's right. She goes, well, so
What do
they
you know?
said Candy, so Abra, you are welcome on next week. You and I
I
will
don't know
talk
what
to-
happened. Hey, Dennis, I don't know what happened. Every Wednesday at 3:00, she's busy now for some reason. So,
All right. Well, this guy has to go get some sleep. I am literally dying here.
No.
all right. Well, before you go, of course, we have to talk about Nice and Tight, the comic book pencil art of Andy Smith. That's me. Guys, 64 pages of some of my favorite fully pencil pages that I did for inkers to work over. And most of these, I'd say 80% of these have never seen the light of day unless you were the inker or the editor. Once it hits 9,000, we're going to make the book spiral bound so you can really lay it flat to get the most out of looking at the pages, and you can lay it on your scanner easier if you want to scan it in. Of course, avoid scanning. Get the digital version and a print version for your bookshelf. You can practice your inking over it, see what full pencils that I've done look like, because I don't do them anymore now that I ink my own work. So go check it out. The campaign will be coming down probably within the next month or so, because tomorrow, Dennis and I will be launching the sign-up page for Core Draft Volume 2. We'll be doing a live stream. We'll set it up. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we go live tomorrow. I know it will be in the afternoon, and I know it will be before 3:00 because we're seeing a movie at 5. So between noon and 3, we'll just put it at that. So go check that out. Link is in the description below for that. And of course, Daybreak number 4. You can of course get all 1 through 4. We'll hit refresh one more time, see if it got any more backers before we leave.
We lost all backers. Oh, that's bad.
Oh, it was my mouth that did it. Thank you for who did back it during the show. Thank you all, of course, for joining us. We really appreciate it. We're seeing Argyle tomorrow night. That means Friday morning. The review will be up first thing. And then we'll be back next Wednesday. And of course, like I said, tomorrow. So we're going to take off. You guys hang back afterwards so we can wrap up in the back room quickly. And all right. Thanks for joining us. Rich, thank you for joining us. Amber, of course, thank you as well. Hopefully Dennis didn't scare you off. I know he has that,
No.
that way. He puts up gang signs at the end of every show. I mean, why don't you just wear red and blue and say which side you're actually on, Dennis?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and there goes Rich doing them too. Nice and Tight, the comic book pencil art of Andy Smith. That's me. This book features 52 pages of some of my favorite full pencils that I did for other companies over the past 2 decades. The raw pencils as they were seen by the inker, and now you can see them for the first time. This book also comes in a digital format so you can practice your inking in your favorite program. Back it today